Hello and happy September to all of you. Just wanted to post another update video. Thought maybe it'd be good to put something up on YouTube so it's not just an empty channel. And there's a lot going on. So summer's over. The last of our camping is done. And it was a good summer. It's always short, but I'm excited about upcoming, fall season. It's not that I love fall. It's just that Christmas is good. Make a little money during Christmas. And so that's my hope. Now, this is a writing channel, so I thought I would share a little bit about my writing progress here rather than just personal life stories. So I am at almost 30,000 words for the book, and I'm making steady progress, but it still is averaging less than 1,000 words a day, mostly because I have blocks of time where I just can't do anything, or I can't do any writing. I got a lot of different things to do, so that does interfere with my focus. And I do find myself getting distracted a lot by things that really should. Well, I guess that guy doesn't stop for pedestrians. Okay, cool. I'm glad I live in a small town where people are terrible drivers. Anyway, so getting distracted is a big problem, and I'm working on that. I would say I'm mostly successful. I just need to be a little bit more focused and intentional every day. You get up and it's like, what's my priority for today? And since I do have a decent amount of free time, but I also have a lot of things that need to be done, I'm sometimes kind of scattered about it. So it's like, well, what's my first priority? It's like, let's go on Twitter and spend 20 minutes arguing with somebody about something worthless. It's like, it's not really a priority. So I'm debating whether I want to put some kind of restriction on Twitter so I don't end up spending a lot of time on it. I mean, I like to go on Twitter every now and then just to see what's going on. There's a lot of news on Twitter. We don't get news on Facebook anymore. But I don't know, it's not productive. There's no value in it. So maybe I won't. Jeez. Seems like every single person today just decided, I'm gonna drive like an idiot. So 30,000 words, but here's the funny part is my wife has finished her book. And her book is 600 pages. And she's asked me to proofread it. And I was like, I'll proofread your book. You gotta put out a good book. And getting someone else to proofread 600 pages would probably cost like thousands of dollars. I used to proofread. I did it for a site called Fiverr. You can sell your services on Fiverr. So I was doing proofreading, and I was pretty good at it. So I said, I'll do some proofreading for you. And I think I made it to about page 5 so far. Because it's a lot of work. It's a process, right? You can't just zoom through it. You got to really dig into all of the text and make sure that it sounds good, that it flows well. Your paragraph structure and everything is good, that you're not using inappropriate words where it just needs to sound clear to the reader, and that is always a challenge, right? When you're writing, you just want to get the words out there and worry about it later, and that's important. It's important to just get the story out, but then the proofreading part is the most difficult part. And so that's going to be a big job. And I straight up told her, I was like, hey, it's probably going to take me a month. And she was like, what? A month? It's like, first of all, 600 pages. That's a lot. Second of all, you want it done right. So it's going to be done. It's not going to be fast. There's an old principle of you can have it good, you can fast, or cheap. And since this is cheap and good, it's not going to be fast. And by cheap, I mean it's free. I'm, obviously not billing my wife for proofreading, but I don't want to just rush through it and not do a good job. So I'm going to take my time. I'm going to nitpick her grammar and sentence fragments and stuff like that, and read her story, which I'm also excited about. And hopefully we'll get that done. I think we should be aiming for the end of the year for that. I'm also aiming for the end of the year for my story too. And then I'm going to do the same thing, put out, throw some time into editing and proofreading and rewriting some sections that need it. I already know there's some sections that need to be tightened up and some phrasing and dialogue maybe that needs to be manipulated. And then I'm going to start putting it out for free. This first book isn't going to cost anything. I'm not charging for it. I'm just going to release it. And the goal is going to be building an audience, because that's the most important part. If you want to be a marketer, you got to build an audience. So I'll be working on that. My goal is to build an email list of around 10,000 people with the first book. We'll see. Even 1,000 would be a good start. Of course, if you want to join my email list, you can go to redpilledbooks.com and you can jump on the email list. There isn't much coming out right now, but you can get on there. And then when something is released, you'll be the first to know about it, because email list always gets the first information. Apart from writing, it's been good. I'm doing some running training. That has definitely cut into my time a bit, because I'm training for a couple of half marathons, and it takes me a long time to run that kind of distance. But I'm doing pretty good in my training. I did a half marathon last year, and it was hard. It was very hard last year. I had to walk some of it. I didn't run the whole way, but I still did okay. And I completed it, which was my goal. This year, my goal is to not walk any of it and to cut down on my time. So I want my time to be shorter. And for that, you just need more training. And I've actually put in quite a bit more training this year. I started doing my really long runs in February. Just went outside and started doing, 5, 10K runs outside. Now that might sound weird if you don't live in a cold climate, but here in Canada, I don't usually run in the winter outside. I usually run on my treadmill. And so for the first month, it was like half treadmill running, half outdoor running. Whenever the weather was not absolutely terrible, I would get outside. But, I don't like running in the cold. Sorry, but it sucks. Running outside is great if it's decent weather. Even a little bit cold is fine. Like freezing. 0 degrees Celsius or 32 degrees Fahrenheit is totally fine. I can handle that, because you sweat and it cools you down. But running in, minus 15, minus 20, that's just not fun. Your hands get cold and bleh. So that's my goal. And I've got 2 half marathons coming up, one in September, the other one in October, basically 2 weeks apart. Pretty much ready for that. And then it's time to basically getting ready for Christmas. So there's a lot of work to be done in my print-on-demand business for that. Got a new thing. I'm trying to do a lot of customization, and so these listings take forever to create. But hopefully I'll get a lot of sales out of them, because I've really spent a lot of time optimizing them and making them look good, and we'll see. So I'm hoping to make bunch of money this year, and then we're trying to buy the house we're living in too. And I got to pay a bunch of taxes before I can apply for a mortgage. So it's just been, yeah. I mean, it's not like I don't have the income to pay taxes, but I let them build up for a little bit too long. And these are some back taxes, so I got to pay those off. And things should be looking pretty good by this time next year. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. See you in a couple weeks with another update.